Okay, everybody, welcome back to Woo Woo Wisdom as we try this again. We had a little
Yeah.
technical difficulties the first time getting everybody live at the same time, but deep breath, we made it back. And we are super excited to get started today.
Yeah. Hi, Frida.
Hey, Frida. We only had one question today, but I think we got
We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, some weird things have been happening recently. Our beautiful moderator Rosalie was actually telling us about an experience that her family had that was completely out of the normal. And Brenda and I think last week you were telling everybody about an experience that you and Ro had on a nature walk. And so
Out in the woods, y'all.
In the woods.
You know, things happen in the woods.
What happens in the woods stays in the woods. But of course, Gemini that I am, I got super jealous, and I'm like, I want to go too. So Monday, Brenda and I went and walked the trail, and we had the same exact experience. We got to a certain point in the trail, and the crows just started having a fit. Mm-hmm. The further we walked, the more. And we could stand and watch, like, as we walked, two more would join the murder.
The murder of crows.
And then we would walk a little bit further, and two more would join. And then we'd walk a little bit further, and three more would join. And the group of them just kept getting bigger and bigger. And the more of them, of course, the crazier the sound got. And as we were walking, the minotaurs that you sense came back and told us a little bit more about why they were there. And it was kind of like a guardian thing. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of just said out loud, I'm like, I wonder if the crows, if the minotaurs are there as guardians and protectors, I wonder if the crows are also trying to warn us about something, right? So I thought to myself, let's just stand still. Let's just send them Reiki. Let's just tell them that we're not afraid, that we understand, that we have protection, right? And so we both, you being an energy worker, you were sending them energy as well. And so we just stood there and did that for what, maybe 10 seconds?
Even that. It was almost immediate.
Almost immediate. They fell completely silent.
Yeah.
I still get chills.
That's crazy.
Completely silent. And we could actually watch them in little groups flying away and getting further and further away. We could still hear a call every now and then, but you could definitely tell that they were dispersing, if you will, disbanding the murder.
Right.
But it was the craziest experience. And the minotaur stayed with us through the rest of the walk, kind of as the protection. But as soon as we sent them energy and let them know that we weren't afraid and that we understood what was going on around us, that was all they needed. That was so super cool.
And Ro and I were out there again yesterday for another little walk and had some experiences with them again. So I think they're going to be
the crows or the minotaurs.
The minotaurs.
Okay.
We didn't really have much crow activity yesterday, but it was really interesting because it kind of played into what had happened to us and what had happened to me the week before, and it happened to us out there. So it's like they're there for a little while. Mm-hmm. They're going to be staying to protect the land.
Right, and I'm kind of excited to go back and learn a little bit more about what they're doing there, and this, because I want to know, I want to know the specifics. I want to know all the things. I want them to tell me exactly why they're there, and
it's our Gemini side, girl.
Yeah, I know.
Got to know everything about everything.
Got to know both sides of the story. Not one version of the truth isn't enough. We have to know both sides of the story, so our internal conflict can pick.
Yeah.
But anyway, we wanted to share that with you because it was a very
it was cool.
Very cool and enlightening experience, just to kind of know that you're that connected with nature.
Yeah.
And even though most of the time we're not that mindful of it, but we really are.
Yeah, and another thing that's really been happening a lot the past week is dreams. Dream time has been insane. And I'm pretty sure a couple of nights ago I had a visitation from my grandmother.
Oh, that's nice.
It was so sweet. She was wearing a pink sweatsuit, and she had a yellow cat, and she was smiling, and it felt like I had seen her. And I had the thought during my dream that I need to go visit her more often because she's not going to be around that much longer. Mm-hmm. And then I had that sinking feeling oh, she's not here anymore.
Right, you realize again.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was her giving me a message to go visit my parents more often, which could be.
Right.
But I feel like she came by to say hello, and it was really sweet. And she looked really pretty in her pink sweatsuit.
And I'm one of those people that I know that I dream, but I very rarely remember the dream. And it's even more rare than that I will remember the dream and kind of know, oh, that was a message, or oh, there's something that I need to gather out of that experience, right? And I had one of those dreams last night, and of course I woke up at like 3:33.
Oh, nice.
I didn't look at the clock at 3:33, but when I finally did look at the clock, it was like 3:36, and you like the thing just pops in your mind of like, I probably woke up at 3:33.
Yeah.
And it was very. We were living in, Jason and I, my husband and I, we're living in a mall, in like a shopping mall, like the old school shopping mall, the big building. Like we had one of the stores, and the front of our house had no doors. It was just like a big open area. And, of course,
That's weird.
With all dreams, chaos ensues. And, I really believe it was a dream about boundaries. Like I'm not, there's a certain area of my life where I don't think I'm doing what I need to do as far as boundaries and protecting my energy. And I think it was very much one of the meanings. And I really love, I already told Brenda about the dream, and she pointed out it could also be about, there was a lot of imposter syndrome type stuff, that came up, and a lot of conflict about what I wanted to do, and everybody kind of like poo-pooing the idea of what I wanted to do, which also is very good insight, and kind of plays into the whole boundary situation as well. So
Don't be too bright. Don't be too big. Don't be too much.
Yeah. Don't learn too many things, because
you gotta stay small.
Yeah.
Because that's what your mind is telling you.
But yeah, a lot of definitely a lot of dream energy.
Yeah.
Going on right now.
I had this dream right before.
Probably the full moon. I mean.
Yeah, I think it's the shadow part of that for sure. I had this weird dream right before I woke up this morning, and I was in this room, and it was like my office, and I was supposed to be having an energy appointment with a client. And so I had this one client that I had on a table, and I was doing energy work with them. And then suddenly more and more and more people started coming in, and there were people that were like I haven't seen in years, and people that I know have been through some personal shiz. And they were all coming for healing. And what they all really wanted was just to be comforted. Oh. So I was like hugging people and holding people, and that was my healing, was giving comfort. And then I got the message that this is what you did on the other side.
Oh, that's cool.
Like comfort. So that was really cool. When I woke up, I was like, oh, that's nice, because that's kind of how, with doing massage work and doing the energy work and connecting with people, I hope that, that feels like part of my calling in life, is to give comfort to people through touch or through, connecting.
Through energy, right? But that's a good validation that has been part of your, not life path, soul path.
Right. Yeah, I think so for sure.
Yeah, and you're so drawn to it, and you're so good at like building community, like putting like people together. So
I love doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Not so much even in romantic relationships.
Right.
You are a little bit of a matchmaker too. But
don't go there, girl.
Don't.
You know how that's going to turn out.
but definitely, and like seeing how people fit together, like in introducing very like-minded people to each other. So that's one of your many talents.
Thanks. It's fun for me.
Yeah,
I love bringing people together.
Yeah, she was the catalyst that brought all of us together to end up doing the podcast. So we're eternally grateful.
Well, I'm grateful for all of you. Oh, we're going to get all sappy and start crying.
We'll blame it on the full moon. It's the full moon.
Right. All right. So we had one question for today.
Okay.
And I have it on my phone, so I'm going to have to look it up really quick.
Lay it on us.
It was from Tanya. And
as always, if anybody watching has any questions, just drop them in the comments, and we will get them as soon as we.
Man, look at them bags.
Oh,
love you too.
Love you too, Dreamstar 88.
Yeah, I didn't sleep very good last night. It's allergies or something. I was
'cause-
like, pulled an all-nighter.
We were dreaming all the junk.
That's right. I was busy in my dreams. Okay, so Tanya's question. Topic as of late, finances. So finances with a question. How do you see my year, gainful, managing? Throw me a life jacket. So I was like, I feel you on that, girl, because that's been paramount in my mind too. Financial stability.
Yeah.
So let's see what the unicorns have to say today.
Yeah, I think
I think we need some magic.
as we approach tax time, that becomes a
And also after the holidays, and you're trying to recover if you overspent on people's gifts and things. And yeah, first couple of months after the holidays can be a little tight. So
yeah,
intuitively,
exactly. What status put tax time like right after Christmas?
So intuitively, Tanya, I'm going to say there's a couple of months of kind of like tightening the belt, so to speak. Just watching what goes out. Feels like April, May, things start to lighten up a little bit. That's just intuitively what's coming through. And October, November are also crucial in this year.
So, to your point, the first card that popped out was be humble from the manifestation deck. So that kind of speaks to there may be a period where you do have to tighten the belt a little bit.
Let's see. I gotta take my glasses off so I can see my cards. Oh, it talks about adventure. Dare to do things differently. Manifest your travel dreams or move to a new location. So I don't know if you. I know you. You're probably thinking about going to the beach. So I don't know. Think about it in a different way. Maybe it doesn't have to be for the length of time, or maybe you stay somewhere that's different than you would have before. But I think you can still do that thing that you, because I feel like that's part of this question. Do the thing that you want to do. And then I got count your blessings and enjoy life. Take pleasure in the simple things. Always expect the best. So that's kind of like having that mindset of gratitude and.
Well, and as you were talking about that, the second card that popped out was take a breather.
Look where she is. She's in the ocean.
In the ocean, exactly. But what popped into my mind as you were talking is like, that's how we manifest. Is like not out of a, like don't allow ourselves to get into that sense of scarcity and that sense of lack and that story that we tell ourselves that there's not going to be enough, right? Be smart with your finances, but also, or do the things that take care of you, right? And don't be afraid that there's not going to be enough because, if you allow it to flow out with gratitude, all that's doing is making more room for more to flow in.
And I pulled this card. It says the awareness card. You want to see that? It's pretty. Live in the moment. Be conscious of your thoughts, which is what you were just saying, and look for signs and guidance. So you've got help,
right? And exactly to that point, these two cards popped out of the self-care deck because I was asking like, what is within Tanya's power to do to draw in the money that she desires, right? And so, good girl is what it says, is with the line through it, and it's talking about power, and that's the ability to suck it up is not a superpower. Saying no is its own power. Yeah. So to me, that's like taking control of your finances, right, and being
reclaim your power.
And then the second one that popped out was sovereign. You're the queen of your life. Trust yourself like royalty. So, and intuitively, that is what came to me first, was that you're in control of what your financial year is going to look like, right? That you can manifest it to be what you, whatever you desire it to be, right?
Can you turn the volume down on that just a wee bit? Also, I got the mouse spirit, which says tend to the small things. So to me, that speaks to like, making sure that you got yourself covered, like tend the small things, the bills that need to be paid, the work that needs to be done in order to pay the bills so that you can have the things that you want to, be able to do the things that you want to do. And I feel like you need just one more card of encouragement. And I think I'm going to pull a Kuan Yin card.
Oh.
And after my dream last night, because she is the angel of compassion. Well, that's her. Compassion is Kuan Yin.
Right.
So, let's see. Oh, this one's sticking up. I think this one's for you. So this is the card, Grace in Full Flight. And I'm just going to see if I can pick out a word or two that is a message for you. You have learned that it is only through conscious action combined with true surrender that grace can truly take full flight. So that's kind of talks to, you have to surrender to what the situation is now. And when you do, and you take action to take care of the small things, like the mouse spirit said, take care of the little things like paying the bills and all that kind of thing. And then that's when the magic can happen. Even if it seems as though you are losing the very thing you want to hold on to, by letting go of it, do it anyway. So give up some of that control of having to know exactly how it's going to be. Let go with patience, trust, and serenity.
Well, and that kind of is also a lot about the receiving mindset of like, you have to let part of it go in order to make room for more to come in.
Exactly. And in the reading, it brings you this message. Your time for manifestation, for the fullness of success, is either upon you now or close at hand. It will come, and soon. So I think just keeping that positive mindset of what your expectations are for your finances is important.
And I feel like that's
what you want.
I feel like that backs up the fact that you're totally in control. You can manifest how you want this year to go.
Right.
So, but Brenda and I both know that's easier said than done.
Yeah,
and
true.
the mindset part of that is where I think we all fall into the trap of because we're so conditioned. We're so conditioned to think that, oh, I have to save this and I can't spend on that, and
of course you do have to do that to a certain extent. You have to be realistic within your
means, right?
Yeah.
Living within your means, but doing it from a place of conscious, from being conscious about your money situation, not from a place of scarcity, lack, or fear.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Right. Speaking of that, Dreamstar88 says that her significant other has been having a lot of dreams about being lost in a mall, being lost in a big space, can't get to where he's going, not being able to find his car, things like that. So, and lately he's questioning the stability of job permanency.
Okay.
All right.
I feel that anxiety within him about that. Like, reading that question makes me feel like, I don't know if there's any like restructuring or new bosses coming in, or it feels like things are changing there, and that may be where his feelings of anxiety are coming around the job. Feels like there may be one person in particular that is kind of causing the ripple in the water. And it's like a person that is either higher up or manipulating something on some level.
So the first card that popped up was a leg up, if you can see that card, but it was in reverse. And that kind of speaks to feeling like having to do, it's all on your shoulders, that you have to do it all by yourself, when that's not necessarily the case. So, part of his anxiety may be coming from feeling like that he has too much on him, or that there's not enough help to get everything done that needs to be done. But, the next card that came out was serendipity. So, that kind of speaks to the fact of this may be the situation as it's going on now, but it's kind of all conspiring on a higher level to work out in his favor.
Yeah, and then I pulled this card, which is the Ear Chakras, and whenever I saw this card pop up, I thought he just needs to be kind of observant and listening to the things that are going on around him to see, just to see what people say and not really get involved in the conversations if there are conversations around like talking about people or work and then I pulled the Power Animal card, so I'm going to see if there is a card.
And I just pulled the Friendship card, so that to me that plays into exactly what you were saying is like kind of be mindful of where the friendships are, and kind of be sure that person is an ally before sharing.
Yeah, this is totally what I'm feeling from this situation with his work with this particular person. So I pulled the Beaver Spirit, but it was in reverse, and the Beaver says to lay a solid foundation. So in the book, it says in the protection mode, it's come to warn you to check for rotten wood in the foundation. So that kind of ties into how I was feeling about it all. Like there's somebody who's just kind of, I don't trust them. Mm-hmm. Feels like something is, that's why the observant, listening to what people say and being the observer, and that friendship thing, be careful who you align yourself with.
Yeah, and health also popped up. So,
the situation might not be healthy.
Right. That's exactly what popped into my mind. It's like that's more about mental health right now, that's kind of what we've been talking about all morning, is making sure that you have the right boundaries in place and that you're not letting the energy of people who don't need to be so close to you in.
And then I pulled this card, which is present power. So it talks about this man is standing here in the middle, and he's got these two very powerful cats that he is in control of. So your husband is still in a good place, as far as having a good ground to stand on, right, but just listening, observing, and watching the people around him before he makes any moves. Yeah, and be careful who he should be careful who he speaks to about any of this stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Awesome. Great question. Thank you. All right, so
got any questions, Ro, on the Facebook? On the Facebook?
On the Facebook.
I feel old when I say that. On the Facebook.
On the Facebook. That's really all the questions that we had for today. So do we want to try to do pick a pile?
Well, Ro had brought up like 2/22/22 is coming up, and we're getting together as a group to do some energy stuff. So why don't we do like a couple? Should we just do we want to do pick a piles on energy surrounding that date?
Right. What that date could mean for
that pile.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Group 1 or Group 2.
So we'll do 2 piles, Group 1. So just take a moment and connect in with yourself and see which one of those numbers that you feel more drawn to, feel more connected to. Which one might pop into your mind first, 1 or 2.
And how you can personally work with the energy of 2/22/22.
Right. So I know for myself, I've been doing a lot of introspection and like trying to, understatement.
I've been doing too much overthinking. No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty much.
Kind of a little bit.
Kind of a little bit. One of the patterns that I have seen coming out in myself is that when I'll say I want a thing, and then and because I'm a manifesting generator, usually that thing will come to pass. But then when I get there, is when all the imposter syndrome sets in, and I start to get anxiety and all the self-doubt and the self-worth issues pop up, so that I don't allow myself, once I get the thing that I said I wanted, I don't allow myself to be fully happy in that situation. And I keep seeing that pattern repeating in my life over and over again. So because of the 2 2222 portal next week, I have scheduled a hypnotherapy session.
I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to hear about it.
So, I'm gonna, see what that power can do as far as like releasing that, because I feel like that particular portal is going to be a big energy shift.
All right. I think that's it. Do you feel like that's it, or do you need another card?
Let's do one more.
Okay. Man, I look tired today, y'all. Allergies. Sinuses.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to intuitively connect in with one or two. Okay, I know which one I am.
Okay. I don't know which one I am.
Okay. So, you want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start.
Pile number one.
Pile number one. So
whoever picked pile one.
This is going to speak to how you can work with the energy of the 22222 portal, and maybe even some of the ways that it might be affecting you. So we've got the surprise card, which is beautiful. It says, release your expectations and be open to surprise.
Yay, I like surprises.
Yeah. Then from the unicorn deck, we've got cycles. So that's talking about
what we were just talking about.
Everything has its time. Everything has its right time. Honor the cycles of your body. Tune into the moon's magic. Then we also have, and I don't know how this
I think it was in reverse.
pulled up, but milk and honey in reverse. Then we have your higher self.
Nice.
And two popped out from the manifestation deck. So be real, and I just happen to know these don't really have a reverse meaning.
Release control.
And release control.
Was that your pile?
Yeah. Shocker.
I love it.
Then also the stellar gateway, infinite potential, manifestation vortex. I hope you guys aren't really shocked after what I just said. And then forgiveness. So I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So, yeah. So a lot of speaking.
Spirit just had to come at you like that, didn't they?
Yeah. So when it comes to noticing the cycles that keep repeating, there may be some forgiveness that needs to happen there.
Of the self too.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So it may be forgiveness of releasing something that someone else has done to you, or releasing the way maybe you're feeling about yourself as well. So maybe some healing to be done there.
Beating yourself up for continuing to do
the same thing right over and over.
Yeah.
And then I feel like release control, be real, and release expectations. All of this is really talking about like releasing. So again, probably some healing time this portal can be some healing time for you. An opportunity to release some of those, like forgive the thing that needs to be forgiven, end the cycle that keeps repeating. Allow yourself to just be, and release the expectation of the outcome. Like just
let yourself be surprised.
Right. Allow spirit to kind of conspire in your favor, and as always, you're going to be supported by your higher self. And I feel like your higher self is in all of this is kind of like like trying to get your attention, is giving you the nudges and the opportunities to take advantage of this time. And then comes milk and honey in reverse. So it's like the abundance is there, but you got to
let go of
you got to do all the
right,
and you got to do the things to allow the abundance to come in.
Yeah,
it's
to allow it to go like that.
Right.
Because that's how it really is.
Right.
We just perceive it
that way because we're repeating the cycles, and we're holding on to those limiting beliefs and not allowing the forgiveness to come in, and we're staying hold of the outcome that we think needs to be happening. So, like if we release the
And let spirit surprise us.
and let spirit surprise us, if we release our expectations of the outcome, then we may get this much this way when really spirit wants to give us this much. So
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. I feel very positive about this. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for the person that resonated with one to come out on the other side.
Yeah.
With a lot of healing taking place. So thank you, Spirit. I appreciate that.
And that 222 being a manifestation vortex. So
infinite potential is.
Yeah. So create. Think about what you want to manifest during that time, and really work on creating that in whatever way you want to. If you light a candle and say what your intentions are, and what you want to bring into
And allowing
your life.
yourself to get in alignment to manifest that thing.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go through the cards here, and then I'll see how the story they tell. Passion. Light up your life by honoring your deepest desires. That's a beautiful card. Intention. Be clear and decisive. Focus on what you really want. Be bold with your request to the universe. It sounds like some more manifesting stuff. All that glitters, but it's in the reverse. Commitments. Whether that's connected with this or with something that you feel passionate about. Maybe it's time to move forward with some sort of contract. Make time for self-love. Know your worth. Love that. That goes together with the self.
Yeah, with that manifesting deck, 2 popped out for both of them, and I felt like there was
Linked to
a
each
story
other.
together.
Order of Melchizedek. This is funny. I pulled this card for myself yesterday whenever I was pulling some cards for myself about a situation. Embraced by light. Mission uncovered. Don't give up. Kind of goes with my dream. This is the pile I picked, by the way. Relationship. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So there's a lot of purple in this, I notice. So if I look at this deck, this pile, so sometimes everything that glitters is really not gold, but when it's in the reverse, can I have the book on that one? Because I want to look at the books meeting. I feel like this pile has a lot to do with relationships during this time. Relationship with yourself, your relationship with other people who are close within your circle. I think a lot of it has to do with how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself. And I feel like the commitment card is coming up too. This can go in 2 different ways depending on your situation. This can be a commitment to yourself, or it can be a commitment within a relationship or a work environment, which can also have to do with passion. I mean, it can actually be 3 different things that could be whatever it is that you're wanting to bring into your life. What is the protection message?
What this means is it's a signal to potentially walk away from what you're contemplating. There may be a thin veneer of glitter and sparkle that's masking something rotten underneath. Pursuing it will only bring about a difficult situation.
Better things await.
Yeah, better things await. So it's just exactly what you said. It's seeing things for what they really are, maybe not what you would like for them to be.
I'm trying to understand for myself how this fits in to this reading. Maybe it's a little bit of a warning. It feels like a little bit of a warning to look beyond the surface. So if it is a relationship or a job commitment, make sure that you are knowing your worth before you go into it.
So can I just tell you what popped into my head when I saw that card come up in reverse?
Yep.
Is it felt very similar to the same message, milk and honey in reverse.
Okay.
Right? That is kind of like there's an opportunity for abundance, but you're gonna have to do the work. You're gonna have to allow the energy of the portal to do the thing that it needs to do. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand what the book says, but when you flipped it over, I was like, oh, the same deck gave 2
you
cards
reverse.
with talking about abundance, gold and milk and honey, both of them in reverse. So it felt like a very similar message coming out of that deck for both piles.
Yes.
But that's just
Totally.
my opinion.
100%. Because I I see the story now. So I think it has a lot to do with the self-worth and how you feel about yourself. And then you can flip this, like maybe you see yourself this way, but you're really this.
Right.
And you just need to focus on that, what you really want. Hold that intention of who you really are, which is worthy of all these things, of what you want, whether it's a committed relationship, commitment to yourself, a good commitment and passion in your job.
Right, and you're supported, and don't give up.
Yeah. And also you're beginning to see what your mission is. Like, I felt like that was about my dream last night, like seeing what my mission is here on
And that's your passion.
And yeah, it's my passion. So, that's that, I think.
But yeah, I think both of them are.
Know your worth.
Yeah,
That's a big takeaway.
Well, and very positive messages of there is a lot of energy coming this way, and a lot of potential shifts that could be made as long as we're open to it, and looking for the highest and best for ourselves and for those around us as well. So beautiful messages. I love this.
Very nice.
All right, so don't see any more questions on either platform. So I think we're gonna call it a day. We'll have another episode coming out of the podcast next week. So we didn't have one drop this week, but we will have one drop next week. And is it the
Good grief?
Good grief.
Yeah, we talk all about grief.
And that was a very powerful episode for me. A lot of realizations came out of that for me. So highly recommend. And our good friend Ellie McFalls was our guest on that one, and she had a lot of really great insights about stuff that you don't even associate with grieving. So it was very enlightening. Highly recommend that. As always, join our Facebook group, Ohm-g Podcast. Facebook group, that's our page, so you can join our Facebook group there. Love to have you in our community if you're watching this on replay. And send us your questions. Send questions for next week, because we love to do this. We feel like this is part of our calling, and we, just like you were saying, the need to comfort and all that, connect. Like this was the way that we felt like we could do that and give back to people. So please send in your questions. Comment. Let us know if any of this resonated with you.
Yeah, please do.
We'd love to hear your comments, and
check out our website as well.
Yeah, website.
H-G podcast.com.
Right.
And there are affiliate links to the cards that we use. So
Yeah.
you can go in, and that's one way to support us and purchase cards.
Purchase cards, right? If any of these decks that kind of like resonate with you and that you would love to own, we have probably 50% of the decks on there so far, but we will be adding the rest of them shortly.
Yep.
So so lots of ways to be part of our community, and we love you guys for it.
Yep.
And we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.